Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk about uh, my current market update. So one thing that I would really want to bring to mind for this week is the divergence in stocks. So this is the microcap ETF IWC, which essentially is an ETF that tracks microcaps, and you can see on a long-term monthly chart that it's not making new highs and it's kind of gone sideways, and it's reflected also in the daily chart. It's kind of just gone sideways and even has been headed slightly lower, so it's essentially a sign of weakness. This is reflected in the Russell 2000 small cap index as well. You can see that it's not making new highs and it's just kind of gone sideways. So this is a divergence compared to what's happening in large cap index S&P 500. You can see it's made new highs after a fair bit of volatility last year, but that's diverged from small caps, and typically I believe when there's weakness in small caps and that's not reflected in large caps, I think it's actually going to be the small caps that end up being the correct indicator of what's going to happen. So I think there's going to be further weakness in the large cap space, S&P 500. So that's one thing I've noticed first of all. And the next thing is the US dollar. So this is a monthly chart. You can see that the US dollar has just really strengthened. This is a daily chart. It's really strengthened since the beginning of July, and especially recently. So this is something to really look out for, considering I have a fair bit of exposure to the US dollar. Now we can have a look at the currencies against the US dollar in general, and it does seem that that weakness is reflected in the euro. Once again, we're seeing that in the US dollar against the Swiss franc as well. We're seeing that same US dollar weakness reflected in Australian dollar. And we can kind of see the same thing happening against the British pound, I suspect, and yes, it is. And a lot of these currencies against the US dollar, you can see that it's hitting support or resistance, or a very important line, and if it breaks past that particular line across multiple currencies, I think that would be a fairly good indicator of true US dollar strength. And this is against Canadian dollar. You can see that that same kind of US dollar strength is showing up across a variety of currencies, so it's a broad move. So that potentially is something to look out for. That's it for this video. Thanks for listening.